and welcome back. Still struggling with English. Back to part 2 of this painting of the Chaos Lord. It's gonna adjust the light. Hold on a second. Hope you're all doing fine today. Myself, I am doing pretty okay. There we go. I think that's a bit better. You can see that a bit more. Right. Been yeah. All right. So yesterday I was airbrushing and painting the green armor a lot. So I thought today I was going to go through how to fuse in the fleshy parts, since Nurgle mutates a lot to the green. So we're going to need some fleshy paints that stands out from the original model. So I think the old rose could be good for that. Maybe it's too old rose and light flesh. Same paints I used for my Gene Stealer coat actually. And that mixed in with some reflective green, so we get some of the original paint. Into the model. So we're having a little bit of gray going on here. That's right. I had to pop my last glaze medium bottle before I move on to the big one. I'm also going to buy some new cover masks for the airbrush equipment. Well, evening from Scania Omja. You can watch the last stream in the video what's it called, where all my previous streams are stored. I think you know what I'm talking about. Alright, so we start by pushing the paint from the green into the flesh parts. So now this whole shield here is going to be quite fleshy, and up here we're going to paint some flesh as well. And I don't think we have any on his legs, but these are a bit fleshy as well. They are not green, however, so we have to cover them in another way. Same goes with these cores here. The Dark Vengeance kits had a lot of fleshy cords for the Chaos models. We drag paint on here, add some more glaze to that. See if you can, yeah, you can see that. Hello Plasma Pudding, how are you doing today? Alright, thanks for hosting me, Viking with brushes. Appreciate it. So I think we will make some green glow from the eyes. It's not natural though, but it's cool. But Chaos has never been natural, so who cares? Easy and quick little brush strokes for the flesh to grab a hold of the green armor. Welcome to the warp, Teague like a league. We have a festive time with demons. Enjoy the show. So it's very helpful for me as well to paint these guys, or this little guy, before I get started with my own Death Guard when the new box set is released. Then we're gonna get into playing the game some more. How many of you have seen the oh shit, alright, I will check out the Brood Horror in a moment. I am fine working with brushes. How are you? Awesome puzzle, the giraffe. Hope you like the stream. Alright, that was the thing I was going to ask. How many of you have seen the previous Golden Demon that was this weekend? It was yesterday actually. Some fine miniatures this year. Very hard competition, as I've seen so far. And the Slay Sword winner, phenomenal. He actually came in second in Crystal Brush, and Crystal Brush is the sickest painting competition in the world, I think. So being second in that one is almost guaranteed to get the Slay Sword if the first winner in Crystal Brush didn't enter Golden Demon, which he didn't, I think. Not with that piece, at least, that he won Crystal Brush with. Yeah, well, it's a really nice competition. I didn't have time to go there myself, since I need time to paint miniatures, and I've been stuck with a lot of work this year. So I actually started painting my own miniature this weekend, but I've been a little bit under the weather, so I haven't spent so much time on him as I wanted to. I can show him in a little bit. So the flesh parts also makes the model a bit more interesting, since it gets more color elements to it, and I like a lot of colors on my models, so that's important for me at least. And it's fun to work with corrupted flesh. Let's see here. These cords. I'm just gonna do a base coat on these, and then we are going to wash or glaze them to rebuild the flesh parts. This is what I hate with the Dark Venus miniatures. When you turn them sideways, they are very hard to distinguish all the details. But I have chosen to paint this one, so I have to pull through. I'm gonna paint some metal here later, since we forgot that yesterday. I don't know if I'm gonna paint his mouth flesh, but I think I am. Just to get some more detail to him. So the corrupted flesh is going to get a shade of reds and purples. So they will stand out a bit from the armor. And the skulls here are going to be regular bone. I think that's the best looking way. Nurgle doesn't have so much bronze details, essentially, but yeah, see here. Whoa! Yeah, it was sure a nice diorama. I agree on that. The non-metallics were amazing. Yeah, I saw that sprue as well. I thought about that idea myself back a couple years ago, and it was really nice to see someone do it in a Golden Demon as well. So yeah. Thanks for swinging by, Sustainiac. Thanks for watching. Let's see here. We were just finished with the flesh. Yeah, I didn't post so many notifications on Instagram before in the last couple of weeks, because I felt they were a bit too spammy and people got annoyed by them. They essentially wanted to see painted miniatures, so I thought I'd just put a little Twitch symbol at the picture and description in the well, below the picture. My English is not the best always, as I usually complain about. Let's see here. We are going to take some. That's to. Where do I have those paints? Nah, that's the wrong one. I have put away a lot of my. Get damn it! Where is it? There it is. My washes. I put away a lot of those. This one is completely dried out almost. Gonna paint with some Caribou Crimson and some Druchii Violet. Gonna mix those two together. Make a little bit of glaze with them. Okay, just do like this. Adds to the transition as well. Just pull it towards the flesh from the green, and the transition will be much greater. So that will work out. I'm not being too careful down here since they have a lot of recesses to get the paint in, and that only adds to the effects. You can shade it down in here to get some flesh going on there. And up here we're just gonna glaze as much as we can, since the paint, I don't want it to be coffee-like on there, so we can paint smoothly with brighter paints later. Up here we want some stronger though, so we don't add too much glaze on this one. Alright, so it's starting to get a little bit more interesting, a bit more corrupt, a bit more, well, you know, Nurgle-like. This is essentially not a Nurgle model, but he's very comfortable for painting to be one. painting wise. I am from Sweden, the southern part of Sweden, Scania. I am going to paint the metallics again, but I essentially use the scale range. Let's see, I can show them to you. Where do I keep the other one? These were used for the metals. Pretty good metals. If you haven't checked them out, you can do that. Scale is a pretty good range of paints. Yes, I am from Sweden. Let's see here. Moving on to the light flesh. So the light flesh is a lot brighter than our original paint. So we will mix it into the previous mix. So you can see here the little gray one. Purple, no, pink and green will be a lot grayer together. Didn't know that actually myself. I experiment a lot. So now it's just to follow the flesh lines and make up some of your own if you like that. I usually do that sometimes. Thin lines is the key to make it more corrupt. Then we can move on to a final light of the light flesh as well, to make it real fleshy. Let's see here. And always have a good pointing tip on the brush when doing this. It helps a lot. Let's see here if you can see what I'm doing. Yeah, the scale metallics are very, very nice. I am going to buy the other range of metal paints from them. I have only bought the copper ones. Good metallics for grey nights. Well, it depends on what kind of level, but I think P3 has good. No, that was not the question. No, tips for painting metals. Well, for grey nights I would suggest a bit darker metal, and then mixing like pig iron with some blue, some gunmetal blue. It's this one. Pig iron is from P3. I don't have it in sight at the moment. And mix those two together, and then go with some silver paints for highlights. You essentially want some blue in there, since grey knights usually have their armors a bit metal blue. But I think the gunmetal with the P3, that's what I use for most of my paintings. I like to use it for commissions as well, since it gives the miniatures a bit more interesting color, and not just grey metal. Okay, now we shall paint the chords here. paint there. Let's move on to the pure light flesh. No problem. Hope you got some clue from me there. Let's see here. So this is the pure light flesh. Those twisted lines in. Can be quite hard to see what's what sometimes. It's starting to look cool. And up here. There we go, that's the flesh and this little miniature. Actually, we could do some small little highlights here, since it's kind of necessary to paint the lower part of the skull, so we just highlight it. It will have a little dark transition there. Good thing I changed the water earlier today. Let's see here. Should have painted some metals here, shouldn't I? Yes, I should have done that. Well, we can do that. We are going to paint some excess metals anyway. That has been forgotten. So let's have a thin coat. So we have to be careful not to drag down our flesh into this. It would have been better to paint the flesh over the metal, but yeah, sometimes the order changes. Okay, but it wasn't too much metal to paint, so that's alright. I can change that. Let's see here. How's my voice now? I have the microphone on a very low tune, since it can pick up sound pretty good. So a couple of streams ago it was too loud, so I turned it down. But yeah, my voice isn't too high today, since I get some throat pains. Not throat pains, but a bit of a summer cold or something like that. I don't really know what it is. It's not 100%. But it's no issue at all. So hope you all can hear me all right now. Excuse me. Let's see here. let's paint with the other metal. It's crystal clear now. Alright, thanks bro. A very disturbing, no, not disturbing, but annoying thing. Disturbing is a bit harsh. Annoying thing is that the you can see these two here. This one is clearly different from this one, but when you paint them on to the model, it's very hard to distinguish them from each other. So they first get distinguished when you shade down the metals with the spare green. So this bronze we essentially shaded with greens. I think that's the best way to do it. You can of course shade down with browns and reds, but I prefer to shade with green when I'm painting models that were not trying to take too long. If I'm going bananas, I shade the model with more than one paint to get gradients of shadows. Let's see here. Right, so before we do the highlights, I will actually see if I can find my P3. Oh, it was right there. Right, this is the pig iron I was talking about. I always transfer all my pot paints to bottles because pots are shit. I like the drop bottles. They are the best. So I have mixed the blue in the pig iron to make it stand out a bit from the model. Then I will shade it down with blacks and browns. They will pop more since it's a bit blue. That's good. A lot of color variation is worth thinking about in highlights and shades. Let's see, no more metals on this part. I will paint this sword after this as well. There are a few little parts. We need to make the flesh on the backpack and the sword. That could be some flesh as well. That one. Yeah, it's a bit other things to do, but first we can finish the main body of the character. So the metal is drying, and while that dries, we put on the highlights for the bronze paints. Where are you? There you are. Oh, I need to shake them off. Curse. Of course. Let's see. There we go. Highlights here. and highlights there, and highlights here and there. Can actually improve the highlights here as well. There we go. The horns are not going to be fun to paint. Didn't I pull down a good paint for that though? Yes, I did. No, we should actually have a bit of yellow in it, so khaki gray. Khaki gray is not gray though, but it's named that way. No, I haven't tried the scale with the airbrush yet, but I will try and do that as soon as I get the opportunity. I haven't needed to yet. I actually have the scale thinner for airbrush. It was a bit cheaper than the other thinner I usually get, so I bought a bottle of that one as well. This is what I hate. You see the skull drags all the way back here. How do you paint that? I have to make it black. I hope the cloak gets over there though, so the details will disappear. I think that's the initial thought of the looks of it. But I think the scale paints will work fine for airbrush. Most paints do, if you just have a good thinner for them. And since I don't think it's any difference between the scale thinner and the other thinner I already got, because they're just branded different. The paint weren't smooth there, it was the same, so same smooth as before. Might as well paint his horns at the same time. So when painting Nurgle, it's good to add some yellows into the mix. And it's a hint of yellow in the bone color here. Or the brown paint, whatever you want to call it. The khaki paint. Khaki grey paint. So much area to cover and so many small details. Alright, that's the base for the bone. Let's see how the metal down here is doing. I think it's dried. Now we can wash it with some blacks, so get the little details out. add some red to it. So it gets a bit more shadier. There we go. I just have to open the balcony door since it's getting a little bit hot in here. It's summer. Even though the sun hasn't shined today, the weather is still hot as fuck. It's a mess in this room, I need to clean it. I've been working my ass off for the last couple of weeks. Let's see here. So, haven't decided on the eyes yet, what kind of color I want to give those. Alright, I forgot there is teeth everywhere on this little guy. Can see here, there are teeth. They need to be picked out as well with the bone paints. So many little small teeth they have given this guy. The Chosen were no different. They had a lot of teeth, or whatever it is, fangs, pointy, bony things. Nonetheless, in his mouth here as well. Looks like a rabbit with the horns and the mouth. If you imagine these being little ears, somewhat a rabbit. Happy Easter, motherfuckers. I come with doom. Alright. Oh shit. Sorry guys, I have to fix this. Oh shit. I just need a new pair of pants. God damn it. was meant to happen, because every time I forget to wear my working pants, that happens. Every damn time. Oh, there's a mess here. And there is a lot on the floor as well. These stupid washes. This is why you have dropping bottles, but I didn't have them for the wash, of course. Yeah, it's almost empty as well. That's a bummer. Shit. I hope my pants will make it though. Just bought them. Why didn't I change? Every time you forget, this happens. Each and every fucking time. Oh. Did I get any on my shirt? No, I did not. Well, that was a disaster. Fuck. Every fucking time. Every fucking time. Every fucking time wearing new pants. Every time you forget to change to work pants. That fucking happens. Never happens when you're wearing the work pants. It don't happens when you don't. Anyway, I'm shading down the skulls here. And the other bone parts. Of course, I forgot to paint some teeth. Yeah, it makes you quite pissed when that happens. I promise I have a huge fucking stain on my pants, even though it seemed like I washed it off. Yeah, I'm buying new bottles today for the wash paints. That shall never happen again. And I'm making sure of it. I always thought the washes were okay with the pots, but nah. Ironic, since I recently told you all that I store all my paints in bottles, but not the washes. Yeah, I can imagine you all have been there. I know I am not alone in this situation. Oh, god damn it. I am pretty pissed about it, because I am not the guy who buys pants that often, and I really don't like it. I fucking hate buying clothes. Otherwise I wouldn't be a painting nerd. I guess I don't have that much interest in clothing. I of course want to look nice when I go out and such, but for fuck's sake, I don't have time to go and buy new pants every week. And pants are pretty expensive as well when you get nice ones. And these paints, they don't come off. They never do. So I have a hard time believing that these will as well. Alright, so waiting for that to dry. I'm just gonna go and check on the pants again. I have to do that. doesn't seem to leave any stains. Better wash than thick paint. At least, if we can watch it. Or oh god, there are a lot of you today. Better not disappoint. Okay, so now we move on with the bone paint, and we add a little bit of silver gray to that. To the original paint. So we shall see if this is a good mid-tone. I think it is. Then we go pure silver gray. We'll add a little dot on the tip of the teeth with that. I had a discussion with my pal Chris today, and me and him, we discussed the choice of minis to paint when it comes to 40k, and what he should paint next, because he has painted, well, Space Marines, and armor, essentially. And there's like nothing that haven't a bunch of armor on them in the range of 40k miniatures. There are of course Tyranids and Imperial Guard, but they essentially have some armor planes on them, but they are still a bit biological. So it's kind of hard to find like big fleshy models in the 40k. So you have to like look for demons and the Tyranids if you want that. So essentially, if you learn to paint good armor, you can paint most miniatures in the 40k range, because they have so many models with armor. But that's also good for new players and painters as well, though. It doesn't get too overwhelming with knowing this and that all at once. There are a bit more safe ground before you move on to the more difficult ground. But I of course wouldn't give a beginner a chaos model to practice on that look like this one, because this has a lot of details on it. Kinda hard to distinguish. I never thought the Dark Vengeance was a very good starter set. I think the new one that's coming is going to be the greatest of them all. But the 3rd edition starter set with the Black Templars and the Eldar, Dark Eldar, it was. I think it was there when they were first introduced into the 40k. Yeah, that was a pretty good box. See here, I'm not gonna paint out the details one by one, so I'm essentially just gonna do like this. Which starter box was the most important to you guys, though? That is always a curious question. Do you like the fantasy box starter set or the 40k ones, and which one? I think the one from fantasy was the 2000 box with the orcs and the empire. I thought that one was very nice. And the Skull Pass was very cool as well. The models were a bit stiff. It was only the goblins that were cool. The dwarves were ugly and didn't look too good. They did not. But yeah, starter boxes are not supposed to have the greatest models of all time. Okay. I forgot some teeth. I actually got the second edition box of 40k, still wrapped in its plastic seal. It was expensive, but I wanted it. It's very symbolic. I want to get my hands on the 4th edition fantasy box that you talked about with the goblins and the high elves. That would be so cool to own. Of course in its original plastic wrapping, because I have no intention on building and painting the models inside. Just keep it for looking at, like a huge dork that I am. I like to collect starter boxes. I got the Island of Blood, and I got the 5th edition fantasy, actually the limited edition one, and the 3rd edition 40k, also limited edition, with the metal miniature in them, the exclusive Black Templar champion and the Bretonnian General Knight. So cool. It's very expensive to buy all the starter boxes from the past, though. People want crazy money for them. But yeah, someday I am eventually willing to pay, I guess. Yeah, and this is the pure silver grey that I am painting with now on these skulls. Get some nice bone there. I think we all are attached to one starter box in particular, since we all got one when we started with this hobby. Or it was the starter box to have at the time that we were in the hobby, so or maybe our friends or others on our gaming club had them, so they were a bit symbolic for the time and age we were playing in or painting. For me it was the 2000 bucks from Fantasy. That's what the 5th edition I barely got to see, since I started with this hobby in the late 90s. And small town, so didn't have any stores to look for them in. And internet was very small back then. All right, that's that. No, it's not. There's some teeth here as well. Just gonna give them a whiter surface, since they're in the flesh here. All right, let's put some bone there as well. There we go. Not much left on the main body. Then we're gonna move on to painting the cloak, I think, so we can glue that on. And then we take all the other small details. Oh yeah, I used the Garnet Alchemy and the let's see here. Where are you? Why are they gone? I can't seem to find the other one I used. There it is. The Garnet Alchemy, Pure Copper, and Moonstone Alchemy was the scale paints I used. Pretty cool. Now we shall paint the metal down here, and then the eyes on the entire model, since we got a lot of eyes, and the little grenade here. And then the body is finished. So I'll actually go with some greens on his eyes. But not brown green, more intense bright green. Green paint, you could say. There it is. Thank you to Plasma Pudding for watching, and have a great evening. Let's see here. Oh yeah, we have the green here as well. This paint I'm using here is pretty close to the old Dark Angels green, I think. It's the Rift green from Fantasy Colors from Scale. Alright. Now we will... Sorry, let's see if we can fix that issue again. It's never good to struck the camera, since the focus and the light can bounce off, as I think it just did, or it has been like this the whole time. Is this too bright? Yeah, it is. Hate that we can't get a mid-tone. Ah, it's too weird. Hold on, I gotta fix this. Something down the line like that. That's pretty good, I think. You know what? Let's keep it like it were. It'll work. Yeah, metals can be crazy hard sometimes because they are very sensitive in what colors you are using. Since they shine a lot and that covers up all the layers very often. And some I see lots of that. Don't know what color the grenade will be, but maybe some brownish paint. That's the train outside. You're gonna hear a lot of that. I wanna die from the heat, so come on. Why? Alright, there we go. Alright, the metals as well. Forgot about those. Gonna go with some Vallejo Natural Steel. Haven't used that paint in a while. It's a very thick and dry paint. Leaves a lot of metal pigments. Welcome to the warp, deadly Wookiee. May you have a festive time with demons. These paints don't stick to the models that easy, so you have to paint several thin layers of paint. So we're trying to pick out the areas that would be hit by the light. Here. So we get the feeling that the chainmail is moving with the model. We'll take some chrome from Vallejo Air and paint on some light points. You can see that there. Just changing. Right, so that's this guy. We can wait with the grenade for now. I haven't really thought of a color for it yet. Let's see how it looks in the stream. Looks pretty okay. This is from the Dark Vengeance box, the starter box from 2012. And yeah, sorry, I forgot to put up the schedule. Bad of me to not do that. I plan to stream tomorrow as well, if I don't finish this model today, which I don't think I will. It's a pretty complex model, a lot of details on it, a lot of ins and outs on it that needs to be covered. So the fur, we could should we do it a bit grayish, maybe? Yeah, we could do that. I think we need to change the palette paper. So yeah, tomorrow as well, and then we'll see about if I'll stream on Friday, but I'll try to put up the schedule after the stream today. I have to make one first, of course. So a bit of a green gray. So we're gonna get our bigger brush for this. Since it's a much larger area to cover, and get some water in the fur. Ah, stupid trains. Yeah. going at it. For fuck's sake. Is it stopping outside the outside of the house? The fur on these models are horrible. You can see that they are made in 3D and that their mold prints are very bad at handling fur. So that sucks. And we're gonna continue with some more greenish grays. Mix in some of the green gray into the dark sea green that it's called. While it's still wet, we can like blend it in together with the other paint. Actually, I didn't plan to do it this way, but hey, it works. Get some more water in here. It looks very bad up here, so we have to change that, fix that. When painting fur, it's good to mix paints on the model, since the fur is very hard to work with otherwise, in my experience. If you want to make it quick, if you have a lot of time on your hands, well, there's a lot of different ways you can go about it, of course. But this way can work it up quite nicely. We're just gonna have to wait for it to dry. Then we're gonna add some browns to it. Yes, I hope myself to produce some new great stuff. But I think that will be no problem. Let's see, what time is it? Is it something important? Nice. Alright, I forgot to check the brood horror from Plasma Pudding. Huh. I couldn't see the link. That's too bad. I'll have to tell him that later. Would like to see that brood horror. Let's see, what brown do we go about? I think we go about the burnt umber. It's one of my favorites right now. It's a really great paint. Yep. Like before, these paints are mixed in. To get the little bit of brown contrast in here. These animals don't always have one type of color all over their fur. Right, now I just need to dry brush that with some pure green gray. It's gonna be done lightly. Alright, yeah, the Gilliman model, I got very tired of him, so I will though finish him. Probably not on stream though, maybe I'll do the sword on stream. The other parts are very boring to look at, I think. And maybe the base I can do on the stream as well. But yeah, I've actually looked at him and thinking about finishing him. It would be a shame if I didn't, since he's not much left really. The backpack is done and the main body is almost done. And the other two guys, I want to paint Cypher. The Grey Knight guy, I don't want to paint him. It's I don't know, maybe for a future project, but I don't count on me painting him right now, since there are a lot of other miniatures coming. So essentially I will put up a little voting system for you guys, so you can vote for which of the other models from the new box set that will come out that I will paint in the stream. I hope for a Primaris Marine. Those would be fun to paint in the stream. But yeah, I'll put up that once the box is released, so then we can stream some Dark Millennium, as it's called. Right. This was my small brush. I need the big brush. The big brush. Big boy brush. This is a very light, wet, dry brush, you could say, because the paint is not dry. It's wet, so it will blend in with the others. No glaze is used this time, only water. Have to keep pushing the paint over and over again for it to build up. Painting this hard straight on would look not too good. I paint on areas that are more exposed to the bright light as well. Starting to look a little bit like fur. Been a while since I used the US olive drab, I think it's called. Yes. Paint the skin of the fur. Need to put this brush in the brush cleaner. Starting to get a bit beaten. Big brush often get beaten since they are used a lot for cover surfaces that are too big for the smaller brushes. I could almost mistaken myself for painting a space wolf right now, since I got this fur here. I don't think chaos should have too much fur on them actually. And I forgot to answer that. Yes, I will upload more videos. The Imperial Fist Army took a lot of time to finish, so I couldn't edit anything on my computer, because that takes time as well. So I will start uploading the Sigismund and the Ogre that I painted. Man, I haven't even uploaded Ogre on Instagram. The Ogre was a nice model. I was really happy with that one. Yeah, time passes by when you have lots of things to do. Has it been that long? Shit. Well, sorry for that. I tried to better myself there. This cloak was no fun to paint. The details are very poorly made on it. But once this is done, we can paint the other fun stuff. So that's cool. Just waiting for that to dry. Water. That's very good when you talk a lot. Okay. Just waiting for the skin on the cloak to dry up. Can do this with the detail brush now. Still hasn't dried too good yet, but we can go in there and pull a few strokes. Let's do some highlights. These highlights will be very basic because, well, you can focus on other things. And I don't think the skin of the cloak is that important. I didn't need to sculpt this on him. Looks terrible. The fur, I can't even start with. It looks so square and square. Horrible details in models are not preferred by me. Nope. Okay, so I'll mix some of the ball crimson red with hollow red to get some, well, close enough to the old red gore actually from the Games Workshop paints. So we can paint this little symbol that they insisted on having on his back here. A lot of shit on this model actually. I'm not too happy. Because these kind of things makes painting be slow as hell, and you will always paint outside of the lines, and you will always mix too small amounts of paint. So now I'm not a fan of these pre-printed freehands. If I want a freehand, I should have the decision to make it myself. But it's great for the new beginners, I know that. That's why I think it's nice if they do decals that are prefixed. Banner symbols or cloak symbols that people can transfer onto their models, so they can also as well choose their own cheat freehand, if we can call it that. And yeah, I saw the Blood Angels were getting a new transfer sheet set from Forge World. Very, very nice. Alright. It's a bit tedious, this. Right, we're done. Alright. Now we can highlight this. Let's pull the Amaranth red out there as well. I'm just gonna do some basic edge highlights with this. Welcome to the warp, Oral Draconis. May have a festive time with demons. Right. gonna shade around this with burnt umber. Since it insisted on spilling over. Wow. Alright, that's the red mark, nothing special. Here we go. So shading with, oh, we can actually use the olive drab. I think that one is gonna be a lot better. Welcome to the warp. Gosh, dongles. May have a festive time with demons. So happy you guys will follow me. Keeps this little streaming thing exciting. All right. Very good. Very good. Yes. Nah, man. Oh, clumsy day, clumsy day. Alright, the back of the cloak is almost finished. I saw that we need to paint these little fangs here. Claws. It's claws, not fangs. Yep. Right, it's the claws. And the paper is running out there. There we go. Alright, now we can actually glue this onto the... No, more stars. Oh. It just isn't funny. I don't like these markings. Well, if they haven't been there, you wouldn't have painted them. Nope, I would not. I did not. It was supposed to be a bit of shield painting. so much stuff. Stupid cloak. Can't we just get finished? Is that painted outside again? Alright. This music sucks. I don't know where I am on the playlist. Really lost in space somewhere. Let's shade around. One of the things that saves this mark is the shade around actually. Maybe I go back and fix this later. Let's see, what time is it? I think I'll take a break soon and then I'll continue painting this guy. So I can get a little bit of rest. You can't paint for several hours straight. You have to take some leg stretchers. Sometimes. I think you all are aware of that, those of you who paint. Okay, maybe we can go back and fix that later. Well, let's see here. Before we go on a break, we shall attach this to our little cast guy. See what needs to be fixed. Later. I'll need to do some more work on the symbols there. And it looks weird without the other parts. It sure does. We will paint those as well. We'll paint the backpack last. I think he isn't stuck all the way, so I need to remove some excess glue from the cloak. It's very dangerous to go in with the knife after you have painted, but I'm pretty used to it. There we go. That should do the trick. There we go. Now it sticks better to there. Doesn't look as funny anymore. And before we take the break, I shall just paint on some little highlight paints here. We go. Alright, I'll take a leg stretcher now. See how many minutes it will be. Let's do 15. Alright, I'll be back in 50 minutes. continue. Let's start the other music again. All right. So where were we? Do I need to change the palette paper again? Perhaps. Now we shall paint the sword. I believe. No, let's paint the plasma arm instead. There are some metal parts that we can paint, and a little bit of flesh. You can see. I wonder what this is. That must be a point for the detail there. So we'll paint the pistol black. Start by doing that. The dog can't get a comfortable position to sleep in. I can hear that. Laying in his basket and twisting around. If you wonder what that noise is. Okay. Bronze. Oh, there was an eBay item ending soon. I got a lot of those. Keep my eyes open. Forgot to bring up the chat. Let's see, we shall paint with the copper paint. Let's see here. Oh no, I almost got it. And cover it up with the shade later. the pink copper showing underneath. Let's shade it down with some rift green. Now it's the spare green. The spare green, not rift green. The rift green is much greener. This one is a more bluish tone. Smooth that guy. Let's cover up here. Okay, let's highlight. Yeah, I get quite tired after a long session of painting. I also painted earlier today as well, but that was on a miniature of my own. forgot to show him earlier actually when I'm thinking about it. I haven't done much on him though. Could do it anyway. I'm just gonna finish the bronze here. Should hit some more. There we go. And the flash. And then the plasma pistol. Alright, first we might have to paint the plasma pistol actually. So we're gonna highlight it. And when I'm finished with the whole model, I'm gonna airbrush some glow to the pistol. Some green, cool glow. Alright. Some metal paint to the plasma. for that to dry. That's some kind of demonic face on the flesh on the shoulder there. Okay, let's see here. We have the grenade. Can you dry? No. Waiting for paint to dry is a tedious process. I'm trying to keep a steady pace going on. Well, that's probably not gonna happen, so let's change palette. In the meantime, throw that away. Put a new one on there. The flesh paints. There we go. Start applying these to our little model. And then we get the boring backpack as well. Ugh. I don't like painting backpacks. Hope I don't get any wash on my pants now. There we go. Now we're waiting for this to dry. Let's just plug in the hairdryer. I can't charge my cell phone at the same time. Taking a lot of batteries. There we go. does it gotta have eyes on the pistol? It's just silly. Crimsonbeligt. I think I'm gonna need to hair dry it before we put some wash there. Where did my brush go? It's a bit too strong. Alright, I think I have to stop there, guys, and finish the model tomorrow. I have the backpack and the sword. Gotta have something for tomorrow. I got a few spare bases from the recent commission I did, so I will have one ready for him when he's done at least, so that's good. But anyway, if you like what you see, care to support me on my Patreon and follow me on my Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and all the other kind of social medias that I'm on. I'm on Twitter as well, but I never post there. I don't think Twitter is so good for pictures, mostly for text. So yeah, see you all tomorrow, same time, 8 o'clock Swedish time. So yeah, hope you enjoyed our little chaos guy we were painting. Finish him real soon. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.